What if you live outside of the state of Washington and you have a warrant for your arrest here on a criminal matter? What do you do? How do you fix it? Should you even bother to fix it? And what happens if you just keep letting the warrant hang out there? Well, if you're interested in this subject, this is the video for you. My name is Lance Fryrear, and I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm has been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington state for more than 20 years. And we get this call quite a bit. Somebody lives in another state and they've had a warrant for their arrest in Washington state for quite a while, or they just learned about a warrant that's existed for quite a while. What to do? Well, in this video, I'm going to cover three things. When you figure out if you have a warrant, what are your options? Number two, what are the pluses and minuses of each of those options? And number three, how you can fix the situation sooner than later. So if you find this video useful at the end, please like and please subscribe. It helps get more information out there. Now I'm going to just jump right into it. Number one, if you find you have that warrant out there for your arrest, what do you do? Well, the first thing you need to do is verify with a defense attorney if you can, and if you can't, then secondly, you can call the court, but I suggest calling the defense attorney first, how much the warrant is and what is it for. And so if you were to call my office, basically we'd get your full name and your date of birth, and then we're going to look up your information in a computer system that we have access to. And in many cases, we could determine what you're charged with, what the warrant's for, and then what the amount is. And based upon that, we can tell you what your options are. So if you have that warrant out, what are your options? Well, your first option is to post the bail. Let's say that you have a $10,000 warrant for your arrest for a DUI charge out of Linwood. In that case, you can get a hold of a bonding company and pay them usually 10% of the total bond amount to be able to post bond and get that warrant canceled or quashed. And we have a video on how bail and bond works, and I'll link to it at the end of this video. But basically, once a bonding company posts a bond in your matter, then the court's going to issue you a court date. And now you need to appear at that new court date. Oftentimes, the bonding company will tell you what the new court date is if you don't have an attorney. If you do have an attorney, that attorney is going to likely be watching court dockets and let you know what that court date is for you. Additionally, when the bonding company posts the bond, they'll typically update your address with the court, and so the court will be sending you a notice as well. So one option is to post the bond, and that's where you pay a percentage of the bond as a fee to a bonding company, which you don't get back, and then they cancel your warrant by posting the bond. The second option that's out there to take care of that warrant is to file a motion to quash the warrant. And we have a video on that as well, and I'll link to it at the end. But quashing a warrant is basically filing a writing with the court, and usually you're going to have an attorney do this. It's called a motion and an affidavit saying where you've been, why you missed the court, and asking that the court basically cancel or quash, Q-U-A-S-H, not squash, quash the warrant and set you a new court date. And so that takes a little bit longer because you actually have to appear at a hearing to quash the warrant. During COVID times, this is June 2021 when I'm filming this, lots of time we can do that by Zoom, which is convenient if you're out of state. If Zoom is no longer available, it's not convenient because you're going to have to fly in. So in those cases, unless the bond amount is really high, it's maybe better to post the bond. But once you show up at the motion to quash hearing, typically speaking, the court will quash the warrant and issue you a new court date for your case to get back on track. So those are the sort of the two options for trying to take care of the warrant. Then finally, the third thing, what's the other end of it? What's the downside? Why should I try to quash it? Well, when most people call us about a warrant, and this may or may not be you, it's because something has went wrong in their life where the warrant is causing that problem. I'm applying for a job, and the background check says I have a warrant in Washington. They're not going to hire me until it's cleared. Or the warrant's for a traffic matter. So my California driver's license finally got suspended because California has learned that my privilege to drive is suspended in Washington. Or, hey, I've got a new spouse or something, and they know about my background, and they're upset, and they want me to take care of it. So the reasons to take care of the warrant are to clear up other life issues. Some people can go a lifetime without clearing a warrant, and it won't affect them. If it's a non-traffic case and it's a non-felony, if you're not too close to Washington State, if you're a few states away, it's probably not extraditable, and it's probably going to be much less likely to cause you a problem if you just leave it out there. If it's a felony, major felony, it may be extraditable from more and more states. So if you get pulled over in North Carolina, maybe they're going to haul you back to Washington. Extraditable means that Washington has said in their warrant that they're willing to pay to have you brought back from where they found you based upon how far it is away. And so if it's a minor offense that's not a traffic offense, then some people will choose to leave the warrant out there. If it's a traffic offense, eventually it catches up to you, because if you have a warrant in Washington State for a traffic offense, that will suspend your license. And once another state learns about your privilege to drive being suspended in Washington, whether or not you ever had a license here, it's your privilege to drive, they're going to eventually suspend your privilege to drive or your license in the state where you're at due to the full faith and credit clauses in constitutions in the states. So those are your options for trying to clear a warrant in Washington State. If you're out of state, it's a good idea to do. It's a good idea to try to get an attorney team behind you to make it go smoothly and to let you know what to expect. So if you found this video helpful, please like and please subscribe. And more importantly, if you have the situation, feel free to give my office a call. We handle, 6 to 12 of these probably a year. That's quite a few for people out of state trying to quash their warrant in state. We're pretty good at it. We can let you know what the best options are based upon your situation. Give us a call. If it makes sense to get on board, we'll help you out, and we'll be there for you. Thank you.